On behalf of the people of the City of Chicago, I personally want to thank each and every one of the members of the Armed Forces for their great commitment, sacrifice, and serving our country during the times of war and peace. You are truly role models for our society. You have made a great commitment to this country and to the world. And when you think of the sacrifice that men and women have made to make what America is today in the world, it is called sacrifice. And all of us deeply appreciate the commitment that the military has made to our Constitution and to all the freedoms that we enjoy today and people are enjoying throughout the world. And I think that's what we have to look upon. And democracy cannot be taken for granted. It always must be defended and supported at all times. Yesterday, we had a wonderful, wonderful City Council meeting for one reason. We honored a group of young men and women in the junior ROTC program. As you know, we have the largest ROTC program in the country. We have a number of military academies that we keep expanding every year in regards to the quality of men and women going into those ROTC programs, especially military academies. And yesterday, to see the quality of the young men and women, we honor those who are graduating and scholarships, and those who are freshmen and sophomores for their great commitment to the junior ROTC program. And to see how they were accepted at University of Illinois, West Point Military Academy. A young man is listening to the Marine Corps. We see West Point, we see Navy Academy. And it really struck you how another generation of young men and women are just as committed as other generations to this country. And I want to thank all the officers and the instructors and teachers at our junior ROTC program and the military academies that have done a tremendous, tremendous job here in the City of Chicago. And we're truly proud of this program because what they're really doing is teaching values, discipline, things that many times people don't receive in their home or in their community. They have changed around young people here in this city. It is a wonderful, wonderful program. And of course, I keep expanding it because what we see is the outcome of young men and women who have graduated from these programs have really become wonderful citizens. And those that have gone on to the academies and those who went on into the military and other things that really we can really be proud of the type of instructions in the tutoring that is given to the young men and women here in the City of Chicago, which we're truly proud of. Let's give them a round of applause and thank them. Let's stand up. Will you please stand up? Memorial Day is a special day. It's not a day of just picnics and barbecues, but it's a Memorial Day. Those that have lost their lives in defending freedom here in this country and throughout the world, Memorial Weekend. And we had to make it something special. So as we started out, it really is interesting. All of a sudden, it gets catching on. It's becoming a wonderful weekend for those families who have lost their loved ones. And they come down for the weekend. They come from not only in Illinois, different parts of the Midwest. We'll invite them here. And we have a weekend package in the hotels and restaurants and make sure the Sox are in town, or the Cubs. We get tickets for them and different events, the Art Institute and things like that. Just say thank you to these families who lost their loved ones. I think it's very, very important to say that. And over the years in meeting them, they don't ask for anything. They don't ask for anything. It's really amazing families. They're proud of their sons and daughters who gave their life for this country. And that's why we did this package for them. And we just say, here, we're here to serve you. And if you want to come this weekend, please come to Chicago. And the outpouring of businesses. And we get little gifts for them and different things that are really important for them. Because what you're saying is thank you. It's not from the military alone. It truly has to come from citizens. And that's what we ask the business community to, anything, little gifts, things that they have that we like to give to them, which is really important from our perspective. and they come back every year. And truly, this parade is one of the largest Memorial Day parades in the country. And I want to thank all those that participated, especially the ROTC and junior ROTC, the various schools, the various bands we have, and the instructions that we have there. It's really amazing to see this down State Street. What I tell people reinforces your belief in younger people. This idea that generations or something going on, it's not. In this generation, we're just as good as any other generation. I'm more and more convinced at it. So again, we'd like to welcome everybody to the Memorial Day Parade and the ceremony before, which is really important because as we honor those men and women, those families, we're truly honoring all those on Memorial Day who lost their life in defense of this country throughout the world. God bless you and thank you.
Well, distinguished guests, Mayor Daley, my fellow veterans, servicemen and women, guests, I want to thank the Union League Club and Mayor Daley for all that they do for our servicemen and women and for veterans. This is truly a veteran and a servicemen and women city. You know, we who serve and have served are a part of a very unique brotherhood. And I'm using brotherhood in that traditional sense. We, like our founding fathers, we pledge our lives, our fortunes, and our sacred honor to the cause of this country, to the cause of liberty. You see, we don't know what's going to happen to us when we raise our right hand and swear that we will support and defend the Constitution of the United States of America against all enemies, foreign and domestic. We don't know what's going to happen. Think about the men and women that were serving on active duty on December 7th, 1941. It was a normal day. They were getting up to go play baseball. In fact, there's a couple of pretty neat pictures of people playing baseball and the Japanese Zero coming in. They had no idea what was going to happen. Think about the reservists and the National Guardsmen and women that were on duty, serving their country, never thinking of going into combat until the Koreans came across the border and the Korean War started. Many were called to active duty. Many lost their lives. I was a very young man. I had just joined the Army. I was down failing to do very well at officer candidate school. That's why I was an NCO. And right then, in August, just as I was getting to do what they call the DOR, drop one request, the Gulf of Tonkin happened. And I was lucky enough to go to Germany for a few years, but as I was in Germany, a lot of my friends were getting levied to go to Vietnam. I never thought when I joined the Army in 1964 that I would ever see combat. And I volunteered to go to Vietnam. A lot of people didn't. We were drafted. Think of the men and women that were serving on active duty when Grenada happened, or Panama, or any number of other events. Think about those that were on active duty in the reserve program, especially in the National Guard and Reserve for Gulf War. And then 9/11 happened. We pledge our lives to this country. We don't know whether we're going to come out of that uniform the same way we went in. We also pledge our fortunes. We don't know what our earning capacity is going to be when we get out of the military. Today, you're treated as heroes, those of you who serve. You're being met. Your airplanes are being met. You're being welcomed home. Many people, including a very good friend of mine, goes to the Rockford Airport every time a plane lands to welcome servicemen and women home from overseas. Many things are available to you, but it wasn't always that way. When I came home, I was told to take my uniform off as soon as I possibly could and never, ever to wear it while I was home on leave during the Vietnam War. After service, Vietnam veterans were considered to be baby killers, dope fiends, and a whole bunch of other stuff. We live in a very fickle country. The World War II veteran came home to parades. The Korean War veteran came home and was just forgotten. Today you're a hero. Tomorrow you may be a homeless veteran. Today the country will do everything for you, but that can change real quick. So we don't know how it's going to affect our earning power. We don't know what's going to happen if we get wounded. If we suffer the outside wounds, we lose an arm or we lose a leg, or we suffer that deep internal wound called post-traumatic stress disorder. We don't know what's going to happen. It can impact the very way we earn a living, or if we can earn a living at all. And so it affects our fortunes. It also affects our sacred honor. My dad told me when I was growing up, he said, you know, the world can take everything from you. They can take your house, your wife, your car, your husband, your children. Everything can be taken from you, but you yourself have to give up your honor. Nobody can take that from you. And I really believe that that's true in most cases, but I also can tell you that after 40 years of working in the area of veteran affairs, I know many men and women that were discharged with things like this: dishonorable, undesirable, other than honorable. We work to a higher standard. Think about it. In any other job, you can quit. There are employers that rather than take you and throw you in jail for stealing will just let you walk out the door. There's no need for honor. And the more you steal, it seems, the less they want to do to you, because they don't want to go through the embarrassment of having the press come in and ask those questions they love to ask. We're held to a higher standard by a people that have never mostly seen a shot fired in anger. They have no idea what it's like to be in combat, to look at where your best friend used to be, and he's not there anymore, or he's laying there missing an arm or a leg, and they have no idea about what happens inside when you see that. We're held to a higher standard because what the press does is they love to take the reaction when that happens and blow it up. We just saw 3 Navy SEALs go through hell for doing their job. All of them found innocent. Make one mistake and your whole career can be shot. We pledge our sacred honor. Why? We do it because this is the last best hope of the world, right here, this country. People from all over the world come here. They come here. They don't go to Russia. They don't go to China. They don't go to the Middle East. They come here. They come to America. Why? Because if you can't make it here, you can't make it anywhere. Here we are free. Our women are free to do whatever they can do. Whatever they want to achieve, they can achieve. They can achieve. They're not held back. They're not told, no, stay home. If you can do it, you can make it. Our young men are told the same thing. If you're willing to work hard, you can make it in this country. You can be anything you want to be, but not in most countries. In fact, most of the world, they hold you back based on your race, based on your tribe, based on your religion, based on your caste, but not here. This country is free because you and veterans, you in uniform and veterans have stood the post and have kept this country free for the young to grow up and to accomplish the American dream. We're not a perfect country. We've got a lot of problems. But you know what? I'd rather be in this country than any other country in the world. This country, my kids can raise their children free without having to worry about bombs going off in their schools. And that's because of you men and women in uniform protecting us. I want to close with this one thought. We are one generation away from losing this country because the second that one generation doesn't step up and put on that uniform and stand a post, this country is going to be gone. We live in a volunteer military. When you swear to support and defend the Constitution, you are, what, about 3% of the population? Please accept our thanks for all the things that you've done for us, all the things that you're doing for us. We love you very, very much. Thank you very much for your time.